Well, to discuss this further, Ufeli, legal expert and political commentator, joins me now. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, what would you say has changed in the last 2 years since the protest was held? Would you say the #EndSARS protest achieved a lot or little?
Well, today marks a memorial of the demise comrades or heroes who fought against police brutality in Nigeria at the EndSARS protests at the Lekki toll gate in Lagos, Nigeria. That very night, I was at the protest ground, and I am a true witness of what transpired on that day. At about 7:45 p.m., 20th of October 2020, the Nigerian army came to the Lekki toll gate and stormed the place. We had the Nigerian flags. We were chanting victory. We were chanting songs, talking about singing about the greatness of our country when the Nigerian army opened fire at citizens, opened fire at us. They shot sporadically straight into the crowd and shot people dead. They picked the bodies and then disappear with the bodies. Today, we mark that memorial. We will never forget. We will never forget that day where we sang the national anthem. We sang the national pledge while the soldiers of this country shot at us, shot at citizens and killed citizens of this country. We will never forget the brutality. We will never forget that we went out to protest against police brutality, and then the soldiers came with brutality. We will never forget that we stood that night. We tried to rescue some of the victims. We were overwhelmed by the state forces, and the sovereign came hard on her citizens.
Sorry to interrupt you there. A report released today by Amnesty International has revealed that more than 40 participants arrested during the protest 2 years ago are still locked up in various prisons across the country. Now, quickly tell us, what does this say about the country's judicial system?
Yeah, there are persons who were arrested since that time who are still awaiting trial. Many of them have been released, but some are still in detention. And that calls to question the kind of judicial system that will keep protesters, harmless protesters, in detention for this long. It says so much about the collapse of our democracy. It says so much about the collapse of our legal system. And it says so much about the collapse of policing in civil society, in the Nigerian society. This is a call to all and sundry. This is a call to this nation that what happened on the 20th of October 2020 is engraved in the minds of the youth of this country. And they must, as a matter of necessity, release every citizen that is still in detention as a result of that protest. Some citizens have been forced to leave the country to seek refuge in other countries. This is not a way to encourage the youths of any country. With all the creativity of the youth, with all the innovations of the youth, with all the youth have to offer, it is unfortunate that the country does not know what to do with the energy of this youth population in the country. I will speak to this fact that every year the police gather at the Lekki toll gate to prevent us from staging a walkout, from remembering the heroes, our comrades who died and won with us, who unfortunately were cut off by the bullets of the army. They keep resisting us. Today we are at the ground. We are at the protest ground at Lekki toll gate, and the police fired tear gas at us. They fired tear gas at us. They refused us to grant interviews to the pressmen. They harassed us and harassed pressmen. And this is getting out of hand. We have come to that point in our checkered history where freedom must be guaranteed, that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria grants freedom of assembly, freedom of association, and all kinds of freedom of protest, which is part of democracy. This must be guaranteed. I will call on the police force.
But I'm sorry, Evans, but there's this much you can take on the subject. But Evans Ufeli, legal expert and political commentator, thank you very much for your time and your contribution.